All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Terry Hansen Show. It's good to be with you. This is Monday morning. I'm excited to spend some time with you today. And of course, as always, on behalf of myself and my wonderful co-host here, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, the ever faithful, ever loyal potato family, we welcome you from Podunk, Potato Land, Idaho. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us today on the Terry Hansen Show. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about a secret that you can use to stop time, bring time to a screeching standstill so that you can start enjoying your life just a little bit more. Now, I don't know about you, but in the mornings, one of my favorite things to eat for breakfast is actually a smoothie. And I'm sure everybody's had a smoothie. And have you ever gone to Jamba Juice? Jamba Juice is one of my favorite places to go. It's a franchise, national franchise. But on their menu, if you go in there and look up on the board, one of the things that they have is called peanut butter mood. Anyway, it's peanut butter and chocolate milk, I think, and bananas and some yogurt in there, and they blend it all together, and it's just the most divine thing in the world. And I love smoothies, but I love that peanut butter mood more than anything else. And so I've started making those peanut butter moods at my home in the morning. After I get done exercising, I grab my blender, put some peanut butter in there, put some bananas in there, put some chocolate protein powder in there, some milk, some ice, and blend it all up. And that's the greatest breakfast for me. I love it. But as much as I like smoothies and like my peanut butter mood drink, one of the things that concerns me about my life, and I think a lot of you may be concerned about the same sort of thing, is sometimes our lives feel like a blended smoothie. Don't you agree that the pace of our life is speeding up? I'm 44 years old. I'll be turning 45 here in another month or so. And the older that I get, it seems like the days, the weeks, and the months are just flying by. They're speeding up. They're getting faster and faster. You wake up in the morning, you shower, you head to the office, and in about 30 seconds later, it feels like the day is over and you're back home to wife and kids. You're eating some dinner, and then boom, you're in bed. And then 30 seconds later, it feels like you're back at it again. And about 2 minutes later, the entire week is gone. 5 days have zipped by. And it's like, where did the week go? Holy cow. And then about 5 minutes later, the entire month has gone by. And before you know it, boom, an entire year has gone by. Like right now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of freaking out. Here we're a week or two before Thanksgiving, and we're square in the middle of the holiday season. And it's about that time where we need to start grabbing the Christmas tree and all the Christmas decorations and bringing them back out. And I swear to you, I just put my Christmas tree and all of my Christmas decorations away like 3 months ago. How could we possibly be back here once again at the Christmas season, putting all this stuff back up? Didn't we just put this stuff away like a minute ago? I don't know how it works, but time seems like it is speeding up so very fast. And I do recognize the pressure that it puts on you and it puts on me as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as sales professionals, as we're out trying to generate new revenue for our companies and our business. The pace and the stress and the pressure that generating revenue and bringing in new clients to our business puts on us is monumental. So what can we do at the end of the day to slow time down? Again, not to beat it to death, but I don't want my days and my weeks and my years to all blend together in this one big smoothie, and kind of at the end of my life look back and I can't remember anything really. It's just kind of this blur and this blob and this mush of memories and experiences, but that I never stopped and slowed down to take some time to enjoy it. I don't want to fall victim to what it says in the Bible in Mark. I think it's chapter 8, verse 36. It says something like, what profiteth a man if he works really hard in sales and his business and he achieves all this great and wonderful success, and he busts his butt all day long every day and has all these great and wonderful things, but then in the process loses his soul. Maybe his family's not great. Maybe his health is not great. Maybe his stress and anxiety isn't great. Maybe his joy and happiness and pleasure that he's getting out of his life isn't great. I'm sure it says all that in Mark. Look it up. I'm sure in the footnotes, maybe. I'm sure it's all there. But I don't want to fall victim to that. I don't want my life to be spent so busy that I forget to slow down, to stop, to enjoy, to relish, to take advantage of the moments, not only in the situations and circumstances that I'm around, but also with the people that are most important to me. So to some degree, how can you and I stop time? How can we slow down? How can we enjoy life a little bit more, enjoy the people that are most important to us more? And how can we make sure that when we get to the end, we won't have gained the whole world, but somehow have lost our souls and gotten so successful, but we're just not really happy with it in the first place. So I want to share with you, with a couple of minutes that we have left, I want to share with you maybe one secret to use. There's one core concept that I'll share with you, and then it kind of has some other kind of periphery things to also think about it as well. And I'll write it down here for you up on my magic board. So as you see, how to stop time and enjoy your life a little bit more. And here it is. Here it is. 5 simple letters. Focus. I really feel like the word focus, in everything that it entails and everything that it represents, is the secret for helping you and I, as busy salespeople and as busy entrepreneurs and freelancers and hustlers, to stop time. When you and I focus, it requires that we say no to a lot of things going on right now, right? We block out things and we include usually 1 or 2 things to focus on. We focus on something, we concentrate on it, we intentionally block other things out, and we focus on something exclusively for some period of time. And when we concentrate on something at hand, it could be someone at hand, it could be a task, it could be an environment or a location or an experience. But when we focus, it requires us to be observant to the details that we are noticing and seeing. It requires us to listen and pay attention. Focusing requires us to process what we're observing and listening to, what we're understanding, what we're learning, what we're seeing, and what we're experiencing. It requires us to process that, to internalize it, to make meaning out of it. When we observe and listen and hear, and when we process and try to absorb and make meaning out of those things, that is the stuff that are ultimately our consciousness and our awareness is made of. And when we start making meaning out of things, meaning ultimately leads to, I'm happy with this or I'm not happy with this. But when we focus and concentrate on something and we're observing and listening and paying attention, we're absorbing and processing and making meaning out of things, then we kind of get to the thumbs up or thumbs down stage where I really enjoy this. This makes me happy. I'm happy with the progress. This is good for me. Or I'm not happy with this. This isn't my cup of tea. I'm not enjoying this. But that sheer process of going through that, observing, listening, understanding, making, adapting, making sense of it, making meaning out of it, and then drawing some conclusions. That very process is really, in essence, what it means to be alive and making the most out of our experience. We get out of this autopilot, super fast machine robot experience that sometimes we're on, and we slow down and we just process and absorb. Now, let me bring this back full front. When we're with our families, it's time to focus. It's time to focus on the kids. It's time to focus on the spouse. It's time to focus on the people that we care most about. When we're at work, it's time to focus on the outcomes and the tasks that are most important for us to help us be successful. We block things out that are not part of that, and we include in the things that are most important. Now, as business owners and as entrepreneurs and as sales professionals, one of the areas that we have to maintain a focus on is developing new business, consistently finding new clients. And so oftentimes when we are hunting for new business and we're contacting companies and prospecting and making phone calls and sending emails and reaching out via social media, so there's 101 things that are battling for our attention. And it's easy for us when we sit down to try to generate some new business and find some new clients, to get distracted by other things that are out there, right? And we get pulled away in lots of directions. And sometimes they're very compelling, and sometimes they're very attractive, and sometimes there's a fire that has to be put out, and we get pulled away. And you got to do what you got to do. But ultimately, when we concentrate and focus our mind, our body, and our emotions on a single task and activity, not only do we see progress in that area, but we start to enjoy the task in and of itself more. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi is a famous author and a famous theorist, and he popularized this concept of flow. And I won't take the time to talk about what flow is and all that sort of thing. But one of the things that he talked about is when you and I are concentrated on a particular task or activity, we sometimes lose ourselves in that task, because the task itself is so enjoyable, so pleasurable, and so challenging to us that everything else around us kind of gets washed out. We kind of get hyper absorbed into that one thing, and it brings us a lot of delight and a lot of satisfaction and a lot of joy in and of itself. The activity itself brings us a lot of joy. So one of the ways that you and I can stop time dead in its tracks and start enjoying life more is by focusing and concentrating. Focus is the opposite of speed. It's the opposite of fast. It's the opposite of multitask. It's the opposite of spinning lots of wheels and getting nowhere, right? Focus is the antithesis and the opposite of speed and fast. So I want to challenge you guys, and continue to challenge myself this week, to stop time dead in its tracks by simply focusing on the priorities that are most important to us. And I'll leave you with a couple other kind of buzzwords, watchwords, things, kind of subsets of this idea. We talked about how important it is to focus. The other word I'll have you think about is your priorities. Sometimes in our fast-paced life and our fast-paced experience, we don't take the time to prioritize. We have these massive to-do lists, and they're all equally as important to knock out as the other. And sometimes in that effort, we lose our prioritization. We lose the people that are most important to us, and we lose the tasks and activities that are most important to us. Not everything can be most important. There's usually one or two things, and then everything else kind of falls in there. So one of the tasks that we can get better at is prioritizing where our time gets spent and focusing more of our attention on those. The other thing that we, by doing that, we also can go through an experience where we become out of alignment. Sometimes when we move too quick and move too fast, and the pace of our lives just carries us so aggressively, it's easy to fall out of alignment with our priorities and with our values and the things that are most important to us, that bring us the most happiness. And in business, when we're busy taking care of customers and going to meetings and putting together quotes and proposals and all of these kinds of things that we got to do, right? Sometimes it's easy to fall out of alignment with that very thing that is the lifeblood of our business, and that's generating new business, constantly and consistently looking for new customers for our business. So it's easy to fall out of alignment. So, but as we prioritize and as we focus, we get ourselves back into alignment with those things that A, help us be the happiest, but B, also help us be the most successful. And I'll share one last word with you, and then we'll wrap up. If there's any one word that I would recommend to you, it is this one as well. We hear a lot about the word gratitude, and one of the areas that I highly recommend all of us take more time to focus and concentrate on are those things that we are grateful. I think all of us have probably had the experience where we've lost our car keys, we've lost a loved one, we've lost something. And you know what's funny is you and I sometimes take for granted the things that are all around us until we lose them, until they go away, until they disappear. and then we realize how much we miss them and how important they are to us. When we stop and focus our time and focus our minds on the things that we are most grateful for, and we start listing those out, we think about them, we think about what our life would be or what our business would be without those, we start prizing them, we start cherishing them, we start putting more attention and effort and energy towards them. And we start realizing how blessed we are, and our gratitude level increases, and our enjoyment and peace and happiness also starts increasing. So if I could recommend any one thing for us today, to stop time cold in its tracks and start enjoying life more, instead of having it, all of our days, weeks, and months be blended together in one blobbly, gooey mess, we might have some monetary success, but we're miserable in the process. Let's avoid that. I'm scared to death of that, right? Let's instead prioritize. Let's get back into alignment. Let's focus, and let's focus. Let's be grateful for the things that we have. If we'll do those few things and apply those to generating new business in our companies and focusing on those tasks that are going to help us win more clients, so that we can keep our businesses running in a healthy, thriving way, we will do great. So it's great to be with you guys today. I hope your Monday gets off to a strong start and things go super well for you. Again, my name is Terry Hansen on behalf of myself and my co-host, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Thanks for joining us on the Terry Hansen Show. And let me invite you to join us this week for a special online sales training workshop titled How to Boost Your Sales and Build a Six-Figure Sales Income, even if you're a terrible, lousy closer or are brand new to selling in the first place. Click the link below in the description and register. Regularly, it's $49 to attend these kinds of workshops, but because you ran into this video and because we're connected here on social media, you're welcome to attend as my guest for free, complimentary tickets. Just click that link below and it'll take you through a process where you bypass that $49 registration fee. You'll skip that 100% and you can register as a guest for free. And it'll be great. So anyway, come join us for this training, this deep dive this week, and we look forward to seeing you back again on the next episode of the Terry Hansen Show. Take good care, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.